Hey guys, this is the truck the Stylesville Volunteer Fire Department just purchased for our new brush truck. Our old one's getting a little long in the tooth, and this one should serve us well over the next many years. The truck's a 2006 Chevy Silverado. It's a Duramax, so it's an LBZ, four-wheel drive. We got it from the Hendrix Power Company. Looking at it right now, it's mostly stock right now. We haven't really done too much to it yet. Still waiting on parts. But everything we do to this truck is us. We're building it completely by ourselves. So in here, you've got the center console that one of the members of our department built. And it's not completely finished, obviously. We've got the cutouts here. The front one is going to be for the light control panel. The back cutout is mocked up for the radio, so the radio is going to go in there. That way it's all kind of tucked away and neat. The light control panel is going to bolt in from the bottom. It's going to be pretty much flush mounted, so you're not going to have bumping around and everything. The radio is going to sit in, so the only thing exposed is going to be the head of the radio. This light control panel is really nice because you only have one wire coming into it. We still need to put in some holes for the front sprayers and the siren box. So there's the control panel. What we did to put this whole center console in was we took the seat out, center seat out, and replaced it with the console. So that control panel for the lights has a single wire that comes through the firewall up to this little fuse box here. You have 8 separate fuses. You have 8 buttons on the control panel. So you've got a 30 amp, a 20 amp, a 10, and a 5 amp fuse on each side, top and bottom. It's got the little covers so it kind of locks down. So all the wiring will come directly into these, and one wire only going into the cab. So they are in a specific order. It's kind of hard to see. I'll get my flashlight out here in a second and show you guys a little bit better. But I do have some blue dots I put on there with a paint marker just to kind of, so I knew which ones were which. So obviously 1 and 4 on the top, 2 and 3 in between, 5 and 8 on the bottom. So that way I know which one I'm tying into and which button on the control panel is going to run which lights. And then you do have what line that comes off of there, which ties in for the backlighting and the auxiliary power for the switch pod. So I've got that running into an ignition only fuse. Simple. That way we can't drain the batteries by accident with the lights. And it came with a little crimp connector. Cut that off, replaced it with a Deutsch connector. Got some rubber grommets in there. There's some old stuff that they had mounted on top of the fuse box and right there, so we went ahead, drilled those out, and we put some rubber plugs in them just to keep moisture from getting in. Coming back here, we've got the Timbren SES system. A little bit better picture, but this truck's going to have a lot of weight on it. Airbags really aren't practical, so these will definitely help save the suspension and stabilize the truck while it's bouncing around out in the fields or wherever else we might go. And one little bit better shot back here. So they're off the axle just a hair. You can see them right there. You got the Timbren SES. And they're probably about a ½ inch off of each axle pad right now. As soon as we sink the tank and all the tools and weight and back, that's going to sit down on those, and that's also going to help protect the leaf springs and the rest of the suspension, especially as you're bumping through the fields, getting into some of those off-camber situations or off balance. It'll help stabilize the load in the back. Up here, let's see if I can get around in here. I should have grabbed the creeper, but it didn't have a backup alarm when we got it, so just nothing to it, just a little 2-wire backup alarm plugged in right there. And then came over here, kind of hard to see up there again, but there we go. Going into a Deutsch connector, got some Deutsch splices up there coming off the backup light. Deutsch connectored in, so it's all weather pack. 2 wires shielded. I gave myself a little bit of a service loop over here. So that'll come on automatically whenever you throw it in reverse. I could have tied into the backup switch on the transmission, but to be honest with you, this is a little bit easier, and it's going to be just as good. So